Hello everyone, my name is Masha and today I'm going to be speed knotting this beautiful bracelet. Hello and welcome to my Valentine's Knot With Me. If you are new here and this is your first Knot With Me video, it's basically a video where I make a bracelet, I speed up the footage of me making the bracelet. I personally find that very satisfying, a lot of you guys do too, and I just talk in the background. So it's a video where you can just chill, relax, maybe make a bracelet yourself and just, hang out with me a little bit. But yeah, this bracelet is actually the challenge of the month for the month of February. As you may know, I run challenges every single month and I announce them usually in my wrap-up videos at the end of each month for the next month. And these past couple of months, I've actually been taking suggestions for patterns. I created a forum post on Bracelet Book and I'm just literally taking pattern numbers for suggestions for the challenge of the month. If you want to know more info on that and stuff, it's all in my wrap-up video. I discuss all of that. But someone suggested this pattern for this month's challenge. And I saw it and I actually had it in my to-dos for a while. I've seen this pattern before, I thought it was really cute, and I wanted to make it, but I never had the sort of, excuse to do it. And I thought that this was the perfect excuse to do it when someone suggested it in the forum post. This is gonna sound really dumb, but I didn't realize how big it was. I know it literally says the dimensions on the pattern, but I for some reason didn't realize that that is really, really big. This one is 26 by 98. Yeah, I know the title is slightly clickbaity. I know it says 100, but the pattern itself is actually 98 rows. And wow, why did I not think that 98 rows is a lot of rows? For some reason I just looked at the design and I thought, it's fine, I'll do it. It's giant. You'll see the actual, you might have seen pictures of it or whatever. I'm actually looking at it in real life right now. It is huge. The bracelet turned out huge. And I'm also the type of person who ties their knots really, really tight. And so my knots end up being really small just because they're tied so tightly together. It's still massive. Even though I tie my knots really tight and they're really small, it's still massive. Let me get a ruler actually and see how big this is. This is bigger than my ruler. My ruler is 15 centimeters. It's bigger than my ruler. It is nearly 20 centimeters long. I have no idea how much that is in inches. Let me check. So it's more than 6 inches. It's 7 and a bit inches long. And that's just huge. I ended up turning it into a bookmark in the sense that I didn't make any sort of clasp or any ties or anything. I just made tiny little knots at the end of it and cut off the excess string, so you can't really wear it as a bracelet unless you decide to untie the knots and attach crayon pens or something. It's, I think, better used as a bookmark. But, I don't wear my bracelets anyway, I just do them for fun. I don't know why, I like the process of making bracelets, but I don't actually like wearing them, which some people find weird, but that's just me. But yeah, I struggled with this bracelet. Don't get me wrong, it was really fun, especially in the sense that it doesn't have a solid background colour, because the background is meant to be sort of like a sunset, I guess, or something like that. The background colours keep changing. I think there's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 separate colours that are used in the background. First of all, picking out those colours was really fun for me. I had a great time. But yeah, I've never done a bracelet, I don't think at least. Or I very rarely do. If I have done them, I don't actually remember that many. I might have. Anyway, I usually do alphas where the background is one solid colour. So it's very interesting to have multiple colours as the background for a change. And I tried, if you have seen my alpha tutorial, which if you don't know how to make alphas, I tried to go super beginner friendly on that one. I also talk in that video about how to keep your alphas straighter, neater, flatter. Now this one did turn out, I must say, oh, my pencil fell down on the floor. This alpha turned out good. I am really happy with it. You may have heard me before complain about the fact that I suck at alphas, and a lot of you guys are really annoyed when I say that, but I mean, I don't know. I know I am good at making bracelets, don't get me wrong. I understand that. I know that I'm good. But in terms of alphas, I struggle with them a lot. I've recently gotten much better, so you might be looking at this one specifically and thinking, oh wow, how are you saying that you're struggling? This one, I must say, actually turned out really well for me. But in general, in the past, I have been struggling with alphas. These past, I think, 6-ish months, I've really been trying to push alphas and make more alphas, and, you know, I've just been practicing a lot to try and get my skill up to a level where I'm happy with it, and I am really happy with how this bracelet turned out. It turned out quite straight. There are still some areas where it sort of bumps out a little bit, but overall it turned out really straight, really smooth, really nice and consistent. All the rows are sort of straight and consistent. All of the knots are quite consistent. There are also some areas where maybe the bass string peeps through a little bit, where the hands are through the black. They sometimes peep through. Sometimes the colours peep through where they're not supposed to. So there are still some slight errors, but overall I'm very happy with how it turned out. But yeah, when people get annoyed when I say that I'm not good at alphas, I don't mean that I'm terrible. I can see that I'm good. I know I'm good, but I still also know that there's a lot of room for improvement. And especially when you're the one making the bracelet, you see more errors than someone just looking at it will see. Just because you spend more time with it, you actually are making it. You see imperfections in it that other people might not see. And yeah, it's a process for me. Although right now I'm in a place of making alphas that I'm happy about. So yeah, must say that I've really improved in these past 6 months, and I'm really happy with it. But yeah, what I was going to say as well is in the video that I did about the alphas, I mentioned that to help keep your alphas straight, it's best to use all strings from the same brand to make sure that they are all the same thickness, because when you have strings of different thickness, they're going to make different sized knots, and if your knots are different sizes, your rows are going to end up really wonky and, you know, push out and whatever. It's going to be a mess. And in this bracelet, I used all strings of the same brand, and the brand I used, I think, is Gamma, and I got that while I was in Russia. There's nothing special about the Gamma strings. They're just strings, you know, it's literally just cotton thread, embroidery floss, but it's just what I bought while I was in Russia. So for some reason I always buy string when I go to Russia, just because right next to where I live there's like a big store when I could buy embroidery floss, whereas where I live in London I have to actually go quite far. I have to take the bus for like quite a while, drive there, you know. It's a whole process to actually go to the store and buy strings in the UK, and I tend to buy them online because of that. But when I buy them online, I can't feel them, I can't touch them. So, you know, even though they do come really nice, I usually buy them from Amazon. But still, I prefer actually feeling and touching and looking at string, because even colours can't be represented that well online, just because, you know, different monitors display colours in different ways. So yeah, anyway, I struggled a lot with this pattern purely because of its size. It was so massive. When I imported the footage to see how long it actually took me to make this, I was blown away. It took me 8 solid hours of work, which might not seem like a lot to you. You might think that this would take longer, but you have to keep in mind that it's not like 8 straight hours. I made this over the course of, I think, 3 days, or 3 days, like 3 afternoons, 3 days / afternoons. But yeah, all together, put all of that put together took 8 hours of solid work, and that is a lot for me. My bracelets, at most, generally speaking, take me like 5 hours. It's usually like 2 to 5 hours. 8 is really a big number for me. Which, again, before I started actually filming myself, the entire process of making a bracelet, I could never estimate how long it took me. Only when I actually started filming myself and I could look back on the footage that I actually found out how long it actually takes me to make bracelets, which I found quite interesting. But yeah, we're coming to an end here. I actually just finished it. I'm recording the voiceover straight after I finished this. So this was literally me just a couple minutes ago. But I was really, really happy with how it turned out. As you can see, it really is really, really big, but I am very happy with how it turned out. I think it's really, really cute for Valentine's Day, and I loved it. This bracelet actually inspired me to create a TikTok, which I've never done before. So if you're interested, I'm actually probably going to start posting on TikTok now. I have a few bracelet-related ideas and stuff. So, you know, right after this, check out the TikTok that I made, which is kind of cringy, but whatever. And you can also follow me to see some other TikToks that I'm planning on making. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This bracelet was definitely a challenge to make. If you also want to participate in the monthly challenge, feel free to make this bracelet, or you can make the much easier normal bracelet. Both of those are in my wrap-up video. But in any case, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I want to give a special shout out to my patrons, and especially my top supporters, who are Tia, Simon, Izzy, Zoe, Gretchen, Laura, and Anna. It is with their support that I'm able to run this channel. If you also want to become a patron, there is a link in the description where you can sign up and get exclusive perks for your donations. My top tier patrons get packages from me every other month that include bracelet supplies and sometimes even bracelets themselves. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I post videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and sometimes I also post bonus videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!